Gaming.com bringing you another edition of Pioneer Curious. Here we have a lot of what we want, but only 2 lands. Do we risk it? Another control deck, it looks like. We'll try it. Not overly happy about it, but we do have something to do on turns 1 and 2, and that gives us a couple looks to find a red source. Ideally, a couple lands along the way. So I've tweaked the mana base a little bit. Took out most of the tap lands for shock lands. Thoughtseize. What are you gonna take, homie? I gotta sneeze. There, I remembered to mute it, but forgot to turn away till the last second. So I forgot I'm also videotaping myself. All right, so opponent's thinking, what is our opponent playing right now? What do we take? We have a lot of, I mean, honestly, Butcher is both a sack outlet and a big payoff, but Cartel is coming down next turn, so who knows what I would take if I was them. Probably, I don't know. I mean, Cartel is the short game. If you have any sort of counter magic, which I assume you have a lot of counter magic, take Cartel. If you have Fatal Push, take Butcher. Or Omnixless. Yep. One of the 4-drop payoffs. God. I tell you what. Control seems to be popular tonight. I don't know. I played some Pioneer in the free zone before and it was no control. Tonight it's been a lot of control. We drew a 4-drop. We have a really good streak of needing lands and drawing 4-drops. Ledger Shredder. Alright. So we would really like to see a runner land, red source first, please. Fable. How nice. Okay, well, sometimes, I mean, this has happened a lot. We're playing 22 lands, which I don't think is, like, too few, per se. But we don't have a way to manipulate the top of our library, and we don't really have any card draw short of Fable, so we are definitely at the mercy of the top of our deck. And you can see just how well that's going for us. That was a chance if we had stuck a red source to get the Fable down, and now we draw the red source. We can run out this Fable into some counter magic. It does, however, set us up for, if they do, which they'll have the counter spell for now, next turn getting a Butcher down. And they know the Butchers are coming, or the Butcher is coming, so they have to be ready. Mill 4 cards, then put an instant sorcerer fairy card from among them. Okay, so this is going to resolve. And they are an Arclight Phoenix deck. Got it. Alright, well that's fun. Well, first time playing the Arclight Phoenix archetype in Pioneer. And that's unlike maybe since, yeah, I mean, I played it a long time ago. Played against it a long time ago. So they know the Butcher is coming, so I don't know, I would have expected a counterspell no matter what for the Fable there, but we'll see. Maybe they're just thinking they can get around, they can race us if they can put enough Arclight Phoenixes in the graveyard. So it's the 3rd spell. If you guys 3 more instant and sorcery spells, yep. So look at the top 2 cards, you're going to Thoughtseize us. You can have a Butcher. So we're again looking to hopefully draw a land, and then we took out, I think, every single untapped land we play. We replaced them with basics and shock lands. Trying to smooth out our mana base, yep. And hopefully we'll hit one of those. We have a couple looks at it at least. Assuming they don't have another Thoughtseize. Alright, so here comes the Arclight. It's a 3-2 with haste, and we're not so concerned about it given that we have a 5-4. Unless they have another Thoughtseize. Just going to make us very sad. Because we really do need this. They have 2 Arclights? Nice. We need this Butcher to resolve. If we're going to have a chance. Our opponent can get in for a lot, but do they dare, given what they know is coming? They're going to keep back 1. We're going to take 5 to 11. what do we find? I think if we draw a land, we're just going to pitch the Grim Initiate. We do not find a land. We do find another sacrifice outlet that we don't need. There is one of our combo pieces. It's a 2/4. We could take a turn off and set up, but then we're just in danger of dying, and then also in danger of them countering this. I'm assuming they're going to try to... I don't know what they're going to do, actually. I assume they're going to block. The Butcher, that's why they held back a blocker, but they might be doing math thinking, oh, we can steal a win here. This pains us because we do want to be able to drain our opponent by... with the Blood Artist effect, but the lifelink is so good. Why are they... Oh, they're fatal pushing that. I was going to say, thinking they were going to wait. I was assuming they were going to wait till damage and let that die, then fatal push the Butcher, but they did not. They went for the 2/2 for some reason. I think that to me is confusing, but okay. We would really like to see a Rally the Ancestors. Treasure Cruise to refill their hand. Seems pretty good for them. Yeah, I forgot that Treasure Cruise was still legal in Pioneer. And it must be okay. It's not. I don't think it's ruling the format by any means. Bitter Triumph. Destroy target creature. Sure. So, Rally the Ancestors, and we might be in shape to win. Although we need to get the Cruel Celebrant down first, since we don't have a Blood Artist effect on the battlefield. And they still have more to do, consider. Guess we could probably just F6 through this. Our best draw, I think, is going to be another Butcher, honestly. And they get another Arclight coming back, so they can do the same thing they did last turn, which was attack and leave one back for blocks. But they're going to just, yep, okay, I'm going to say they're going to go for it, which is fine with me. And they have a 1/3 flying vigilance, okay. So we're in a little bit of trouble right now. We need something that's not a land. And we got the land. How nice for us. So we are going to be taking 3, 6, 8. If we play the Cruel Celebrant, we can gain up to 12. Drain them to 4-ish, maybe. Just don't think it's enough. But we'll run it out there. We'll save the mana. Yeah, I think we're gonna... So I think what we want to do is... Man, we're so close. I mean, we're a lot closer than it seems. We can sacrifice this to give this protection. I think what we're going to want to do, though, is... We'll just play the land. It doesn't matter. I think we're going to pass. I don't think we can stay... Alright, so let me think. We can sacrifice 3, 6, 8. That puts us to 2. If we... We might be able to kill him dead. I think we're going to wait. I think we take our beats, and if we have to, we'll drain them for 2 or 1 or 2 to stay alive. I'm sure they have no way to interact with what we're doing, no counter magic to counter whatever spell we cast. So what I was thinking is we could have, okay, well, we're gonna make a copy of that with reflections of Kiki Jiki, and then drain them to 4. If we attacked that turn, we would have put them to 4, but we wouldn't have had the Kiki Jiki. So, you know, there's that. So we're still in a bit of trouble. We want, if everything here lives and we draw a butcher and they go greedy and attack with everybody or just one, we can actually steal a game by making a copy of the butcher. But I have a feeling they're going to have another kill spell. So they're going to discard a card. They're not going to pay the life. I mean, a butcher off the top, and we're in business. Because we can cast it. We have the mana. We'll make a copy. It gets haste. Sacrifice the Cartel Aristocrat to give the other one haste, swinging for 10. So we can even swing through a blocker if we draw the butcher. I think we've already seen 2 though, so you know, what are the chances we're going to draw the 3rd? And they're going to go for the kill here, I think. They have 1 card in hand. They can, if it's a draw, or if I don't think that triggers multiple times in a turn. So I think they hit us down. What's their last spell? It's another kill spell. Man. I mean, they did draw some cards off of Treasure Cruise, but holy moly, talk about some just hot action off the top. This is like a modern deck almost. I mean, you don't have Treasure Cruise in modern for a reason, but yeah, triple Bitter Triumph, triple Arclight Phoenix. Yeah, I mean, what can you do? It is what it is. If our opponent gets greedy and swings out, we can steal it if we draw right well enough. Oh, they just have another one. 3, 6, 9, and we are dead. So they're quadruple Arclight. Oh no, that's triple because the one went to the graveyard. All right, fair enough. So yeah, I mean, we weren't going to win anyway. That's quite a hand from our opponent. Quite a hand. Just gonna bring in the fatal pushes. Do they bring in ways to gain life? Oh good, my neighbor's dogs are out. Always makes me happy. Take out a Fable. Alright, well, we'll see. Our opponent had it all, essentially. Maybe they could be even faster, though, for all I know. Leyline of the Void is illegal in this format. Maybe we need to put that in the sideboard. That was an amazing set of cards from our opponent. This is not our best. We're going to keep it, though. We have the Rally the Ancestors to rebuild. We need a lot of help off the top, though. Let's see what we see. Another Fatal Push. Okay, well, how big are their Ledger Shredders? I think it's hard to put that on the bottom in the graveyard. We have one in hand. What we really want to see in that situation is, with the Rally in hand, something to fill our graveyard so that we can then return it to our hand. Or return it to the battlefield with a Rally. Oh my god. Oh man. Okay, well I'm really glad we put that on the bottom now. Holy cow. I've had some really strange running with this deck. You know, we could splash blue for a treasure cruise, right? I guess they think treasure cruise is acceptable because there are no fetch lands. I don't know. I mean, it's triple sleight of hand from our opponent. Meanwhile, to set up a treasure cruise. Wow. Our opponent's having some weird running too. We would like to have no 4 drops, please. Alright, well, another land is acceptable. However, we're fast approaching that stage where we really want to see. We want our opponent to tap out for like a Ledger Shredder and then us to draw a Butcher of the Horde. Because we have some setup for the Butcher, but if we draw our 2 drops, it's just dirtle, dirtle, dirtle for a while. It's not the worst kind of dirtling because we will eventually can just get it back with the Rally of the Ancestors and if we do it at the right time. So right now we don't want to see any more lands for a couple draws. We want to see Blood Artist effects or Butcher are the ones we really want to see. Will they have brought in any sort of way to respond 1 mana counter magic? All right. Well, they probably saw. Oh man. But you know what, deck? I said I don't want to draw any more lands, right? I said no more lands. So yeah, our neighbors, they just let their dogs bark for as long as they can. And the dog, that little one, never stops barking. Alright, well, the 22 lands aren't looking so good now. We really, like a Grim Initiate would make us cry. Any of our 2 drops would be acceptable for the payoff for long term. But yeah, we're just really. What do you think they're going to take? The Rally, probably? It depends on what's in their hand. They might take the Fatal Push. We have 0 things going on. I mean, we put a Fatal Push into the graveyard and then drew another one. So now they know about the Fatal Push, that whatever they're going to cut. Oh my god, more treasure cruises. Sure, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Butcher off the top. I swear to God, I need to go buy a lottery ticket tonight. I've said a few times, I've just named it. Grim Initiate would make me cry. I think we drew the Blood Crypt, though, in response after that. But here we are, Grim Initiate. Thank you, deck. We'll save a Blood Crypt in case we draw a Fable. Opponent just casually drew 3 cards. I mean, they must just have nothing but counter spells. Or, oh my god. Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's sometimes I think it's just the this reminds me a lot about being standard. It happens in modern too, but it feels like it happens a lot less in modern. There's enough card draw built into the decks I play, or filtering, or something. But man, we've gotten mana screwed in a variety both ways this evening. We've gotten the not drawing another land to save our lives to just drawing a bunch of lands to just 3 fatal pushes. Like that's really weird. I only play 4. I don't need to draw into 3 fatal pushes. I should have played a land that turn though. But you never know. I might draw a Fable and then I can discard both lands. And you see our deck. I mean, we're 2 cards away from winning in theory, a Sack Outlet and a Blood Artist effect. But since our opponent's already down to 10 life, it's just the chances that those things resolve up against a deck playing blue with 7 or 8 cards, or that they stay alive long enough. But hey, 3 damage a turn ain't bad. So I assume they have a counter spell for this. What does this do? They know about. I mean, they know they can't not play their cards. So they either have the counter magic, or they just have to get this out of our hand at some point, type of thing. What do we find? Oh, oh, nice for us. I mean, this is the setup we need for like that rally would have been. Once we chip in enough with all these creatures, that our opponent will eventually have to start killing because they're going to die to him otherwise. First strike damage from the Grim Initiate. Alright, opponent. I mean, if they have a handful of cantrips, but still, nevertheless, they have like these fays. Like, man, they've had drawn some really. They've drawn very strangely both games in their own way. Like three of those, they had three sleight of hands, two ledger shredders, and three of these pickpocket pranksters. But I mean, they're in a position they could just easily, and a bunch of considers. I mean, you draw extra cards, sure, but still, three ledger shredders. They do have an Arclight Phoenix, so they're very close to just being able to shut down all attacks via. They could just play all three if they wanted. Oh, we're gonna draw some more cards. Oh, nice. Up to 10 now. Meanwhile, here in Psycho's Gaming Land, we are drawing lands and one drops. Bitter Triumph, sure. I mean, this is if. I don't even know what to say. We're just one draw away, one butcher away at this point. Unless they have another land coming and they have like a counter target creature spell. But seriously, butcher off the top one time. They got the two Arclights. Okay, so they got the blockers. Never mind. Butcher off the top would still be one of our best draws. So please, can we get a butcher off the top? Oh my god. So, I mean, so our opponent's treasure cruise twice. This has been their hand with the treasure. So sleight of hand, three ledger shredders, four ledger shredders, multiple treasure cruises. We see multiple considers or slash ops, some kill spells. Meanwhile, ours looks like this, and then they have that over there. It's really fun. All right. Well, I mean, it's not whatever. That's their opponent's. That's opponent's deck. It's just we've drawn really poorly. Really poorly. I mean, even a Blood Artist effect there off the top would have at least made combat complicated for them. They would have taken 4 total, down to 3. But man, we can't even find that. So what is the solution? Is it just bad luck? The flood here, the 22 land flood. I mean, the Thoughtseas hurt, obviously. They've played at least one of those. 2 probably. I can't remember. At least 1 to get the rally. I mean, that doesn't make us happy by any stretch. They can just run out all 3 of these and then we're combat shut down. But what is the answer? Do we want to put in maybe like in place of the next list as like sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards? Is that a solution? Do we put those in the sideboard to help against control? I really don't know. I mean, the flood is real. So now we're not even able to attack profitably. We never want to see this many lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 lands. There's nothing for us to draw to get out of this at this point. There's the 4th one. I mean, that's cool though. I like the synergies. I mean, that's a good way to power up your treasure cruises. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Arclight Phoenix ruled the formats for a while. That it was until things got banned, and then I thought it was all falling off the tier 1 list of Pioneer. It might just be a tier 2 deck. Still, I mean, it's good enough to beat us. But flooding out hurts. Not getting any of our synergistic pieces online. I mean, with alongside the flood has come the non-land cards we've drawn have been our 1-drops, and we need them to synergize with what we're doing. But we play 8, and we've managed to draw 1, 2, 3, 4 of the half of them we've drawn, and we haven't drawn any of our other pieces to go with it, and we got another land on top. Let's see if this is a land. There's the butcher. 6. I mean, we can keep it on top. 6, 7. I mean, there's no way we win though. So, I mean, they're gonna have 7 cards in hand. There's no way they don't have a counter spell or, Dark Betrayal that they can bring in to kill her. That's a good card. All right, I need to put that in my sideboard probably. We'll see. Fatal Push. Yeah. We're just going through the motions right now. Hey, they're actually they actually play red. I think we might just be dead. Down to 2. These all have vigilance, so it's a free attack. Plains, swamp. Yep. Alright, well, for CyclesGaming.com, this is Johnny Cycles flooding out in a game against Arclight Phoenix. But thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Yeah, I mean, that would have been nice. The rally. Alright, so, you can take a look at the deck. We've lost more than we won tonight in our practice matches. We maybe broke even. Either 2-3 or 3-3, I can't remember. A couple opponents scooped, so who knows how those would have gone and how to count them. But, I mean, this is the deck. Impact Tremors is certainly a flex card, but I've been impressed with it when it's been on the battlefield. It's won me some games. Combos really nicely with Rally and Obnixless. Obnixless itself is a flex card. I mean, we need more finishers. We could play some other things in that spot. I don't think Doom Traveler is legal in this format because it gives you a 1/1 Flying Spirit. Yeah, it's not. That's why I went with the Grim Initiate and Hunted Witness. I don't know. Let me know if you've made it this far into the video. So sideboard, certainly this is a work in progress. I mean, I'm just trying to react to what I'm seeing. We need some hate on life gain because of how our deck functions. This is hopefully to help against the meta. Fatal Pushes could be, I could make room for 4 Fatal Pushes in the main, and that would have widened our sideboard a little bit, but then we'd lose Impact Tremors and maybe a Fable. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the deck's really fun. It's got some power. It's got some reach. It does remind me of playing Standard many years ago with Mardu and things like that, where you're just really at the mercy of the top of your deck. And with short of Fable and Obnixless, we don't really have a way to turn through our deck or find things. So maybe we need to take out Impact Tremors for something that draws us cards. Sack and draw a card or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I'll wrap it up now. My babysitter's about to leave, but thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all on the next one. This has been another edition of Pioneer Curious. Thanks for watching. This is Johnny Cycles. If you haven't already, check out my website, cyclesgaming.com, where you can read about my various commander decks, watch my modern brews in action, read the articles, and watch the gameplay from my Pioneer decks, and read my science fiction fantasy novel, The Podkind, that I'm publishing serially. If you like the content, please click that subscribe button on YouTube. Everybody counts. As always, thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all on the next one.